What's up, YouTube, again, and welcome to another episode of The People's Questions. Now, I actually got a lot more questions this time, but I think I'm only going to go over 3, just to kind of balance them out. So, let's get started. First question is by Smooth Ace, and he wants to know, what do I think of Mirror Mirror starring Julia Roberts? Now, at first, I really didn't know what he was talking about. I don't remember hearing about this movie, and then when I looked it up, the trailer, I remember why I decided to forget about this. This is apparently going to be one of those retellings or parody movies. I couldn't really tell. I mean, of the Snow White story, but it seems like they're focusing more towards the Queen instead of Snow White and her 7 dwarves, and I really couldn't even follow the trailer. I don't know. This movie just looks like it's all over the place, and so yeah, don't expect. I don't know. It's just not my kind of movie. Sorry. So don't expect me to do any review on this or preview or anything. I'm just not gonna go see this. And I'm not also going to go see the other retelling of the Snow White story, which is called, if I remember correctly, Snow White and the Huntsman, if I remember correctly. And in that one, they're trying to make Snow White look like she's some kind of warrior, which is stupid. The only story of Snow White that I'll ever be interested in, or that I've ever seen, is the one from Disney. Yeah, I know it's kind of kidsy and, you know, it's kind of corny at times, but heck, it's kind of what I grew up with, and heck, no matter how old you get, I don't know, you can never grow out Disney. I mean, come on, no matter how old you get. So, yeah, that's kind of my feelings on Mirror Mirror. Just Ducky wants to know, what's with all my posters? Now, that's an interesting question. I guess all the posters I own are either for movies I own, or they're the posters for, I don't know, it's a little thing I do where it's kind of like movie of the year, or my top 3 movies of a specific year. Like, I have a 300 poster, and that was my favorite movie for 2007. And I have right below there, I have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2, which was my favorite movie last year. And as you can see, I have the Dark Knight Rises poster here, and that will probably unquestionably be my favorite movie of this year. Or basically, another reason I would have posters if it's also like one of my favorite game series. If you've seen my posters video, which I'll leave a link down below, this whole wall here is nothing but Metal Gear. And there's also another Metal Gear poster over here, but it's kind of movie style. And so, yeah. And I guess the last reason I would get another movie is if, I don't know, it had a personal message or it affected me emotionally. Like right outside the door, I have a Terminator 2 poster. Now, that movie's obviously older than, you know, since before I could really think. But because it's really such a good movie, I felt like I had to own it just because it's really just one of my favorite movies, and I don't know, I guess it's one of those few movies that actually made me cry when I was a little kid, and I guess, I don't know, maybe I shed a little tear or two inside whenever I see it today. So, yeah, and I will say that it really all did begin when I first saw The Dark Knight. Because after I left that movie, I instantly went out and I bought 3 posters while I was in college, and I guess from there, it's just grown over the last 2 years, and I got like 41 of them. And recently, I just purchased, hang on, I recently purchased Red Tails, which is really cool. So yeah, that's with all my posters. Last question that I will do today is from Spectre Shadows, I hope I'm saying that right. and he wants to know what are my 3 favorite characters in video games. Now, I spent a lot of time thinking of this one, and it's a little hard to answer, so I'll try to split it into 2 different ways. Basically, if I had to choose 3 characters in just one franchise, it would be the Metal Gear Solid franchise, and the 3 characters would be Solid Snake or Old Snake, Big Boss or Naked Snake, or the boss, who would be definitely on top. And really, she would be on the top because really the virtues and ideas that the boss projected in Metal Gear Solid 3 really is the driving force of the entire Metal Gear Solid series. She's really the single key character, even in death. She really did continue to inspire many of the key characters. So really, without the boss, there would not be Metal Gear. Now, I'm not quite sure if without the boss there actually would the Metal Gear weapons would be created. I'm not sure on that. But basically the ideas and virtues that would be followed by Big Boss and Snake unknowingly and the Patriots by far all came from the boss. Now, if I had to pick 3 characters over different games, I would have to pick the boss from Metal Gear Solid. I'd pick Tifa, of course, as I have 2 really big scrolls of her. Tifa from Final Fantasy VII, and I guess I would pick Sora from Kingdom Hearts, because I don't know, what Sora's doing is kind of living the dream that I'm sure many of us would like. I mean, who really wouldn't want to travel to, I don't know, multiple Disney worlds with Donald and Goofy and fight off a bunch of dark creatures called the Heartless and get to meet Final Fantasy characters along the way? I mean, who wouldn't want to do that? That's really cool. So yeah, that would be my 3rd character. A few runner-ups, I guess, would be like Dante, because Dante's a really badass character, because he has that really cocky young attitude, but when stuff goes down, he can get really serious. 2 characters that I'll mention real quick. I wouldn't pick Kratos, because really, if you've played the games, Kratos really does not change. I mean, all the way from the beginning story, which would be Chains of Olympus, all the way to 3, he's just a very angry person. All the anger management in the world couldn't calm that guy down. So another character who wouldn't be making my list is probably Drake from the Uncharted series. I mean, he's a cool character. It's just some of the stuff that he gets into. I mean, okay, at first in Uncharted 1, it's believable. At this point, the kind of crazy antics he gets into, no real person could possibly survive. And I'm sorry, but Naughty Dog does a really bad job at making me believe that this guy has this much luck, or he has the best arm strength in the world. I mean, I don't know. I wish they would kind of make him a little bit weaker. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's a really cool character, a lot better than like Lara Croft. But yeah, he's just, I don't know, there's just something about him that I just can't buy into. And well, I'm going to cut it right there on this episode of the People's Questions. If you have any questions that you would like me to answer here on the show, please comment down below, or send to my PSN, or send to my computer, and I will definitely make sure it is up within the next video or so. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, and I'll see you next time.